So I'm walking around and full disclosure, got the sunglasses on, but I am having a little cry. I'm just so grateful to be here, and it's perfect for me, for us. It's beautiful, and I'm just grateful.
In fact, the day was so perfect there was even a rainbow.
Yeah, welcome to Castaway Cay, Disney's private island in the Bahamas.
This is somewhere we've wanted to come for a really, really long time, and to be honest, it surpassed our expectations. It was truly magical.
The day we arrived, the weather hadn't been playing ball, and it was a bit rainy, but the rain soon passed with the help of a rainbow, and soon we were looking at crystal clear waters and crystal clear skies.
We say it was touch and go, it really was. The cast members on board were surprised we actually docked this particular day because the weather had been so bad the previous couple of days.
But we were able to dock, and coming off the gangway, there was not a cloud in the sky.
As usual, we came off the ship on deck 1, and it's a short walk to everything really on Castaway Cay.
You can get these dune buggies, which are themed, but we didn't do that. We decided to walk.
Towels are available for you to take to the beach, and then you can leave them in the bins there. You don't need to bring them back to the ship.
Morning. Hi.
There are cooler bags and soft drinks to purchase if you wish. However, you can get free soda and other beverages on the island.
You can have character meet and greets on your way in. For example, here's Daisy in her beachwear.
And the line was never too busy for these. I don't know if we just timed it well.
Just past this little entrance, we have a spot for selfies and for photographs, shown to us by fellow YouTuber Jen LaForge. Right here, right at the back of the ship, you can stand and have another passenger or someone else in your party take a lovely photo of you with the ship behind you.
Due to the wind that day, several excursions or activities were cancelled, such as parasailing. We were really lucky we got to dock.
The island is quite obviously themed, and there's tons of Easter eggs like Captain Bob Iger, shrimp distributor.
At this point you have two options if you want to carry on. You can get on the tram, which will take you to the main parts of the island, or you can walk. It's a nice walk, we chose to do that. The walk takes between 5 and 7 minutes, and here you are at Castaway Cay proper. We were so happy to see this sign.
I've wanted to come here for a very long time, and actually it was a little bit overwhelming because it's so perfect, it's so well landscaped, every little detail's taken care of.
But it's all really natural, like the plants growing and everything. It's all in keeping with the island. It feels just right, doesn't it? It's just perfect.
It's definitely an immersive experience that we won't forget.
There's plenty of signs all over the island telling you where to go and what's on.
Here we are with Goofy.
And this is the beach for water sports and various activities that you can hire. For example, we hired some paddleboards, but more of that later.
Yeah, it didn't quite go to plan. But a bit of a spoiler alert, the solution did involve these things.
We even saw people having their wedding photos taken.
So nice.
Scuttle's Cove is the kids club on Castaway Cay, and it works pretty much the same as the kids club on board.
Just past Scuttle's Cove, you come across the first shops on the island. Now, these are Disney merch shops. They're not local shops, which you'll see later. And not all of it, but a lot of it is exclusive merch to Castaway Cay.
And as you can see, Tony bought something.
I couldn't quite help myself now. Just past the shops is In the Shade, which is a gaming area where you can play things like basketball, if it's not too hot.
Not
Ping
gaming
pong.
as in computer gaming.
No, like actual ball games.
That would be difficult, you get sand in the controller.
Ping pong, giant checkers, and things like that.
By this point in the morning it was getting very warm and we all felt we needed a drink. So we decided to have strawberry daiquiris, or at least virgin strawberry daiquiris for the kids. And they came in these fantastic coconut cups.
You can get free drinks on the island. In fact, most people do. These are available at Cookies and Cookies 2, which we'll get to in a minute, which is where you have your lunch on Castaway Cay. But the drinks are available the entire time you're there. We cover Cookies and Cookies 2 and the food that you get there in last week's vlog. If you missed it, have a look at the link in the description down below and also in the upper right hand corner of your screen right now where we cover everything we ate on our 7-day cruise.
And make the most of this because it doesn't usually look like this. By the time the food comes out, it gets a lot busier. However, you could always get a table.
There are also local vendors on Castaway Cay who sell souvenirs that are not Disney merch, just local Bahamian goods.
Not from the Bahamas, but certainly enjoying summer, there is this frozen themed drinks kiosk where you can buy various different sippers.
I'm a big fan of sippers. It's one of the things that I buy most when I'm at Disney property or on a Disney themed holiday. Here I did not buy anything, I already had my coconut, but as you can see there's lots of different slushies and drinks.
And sippers.
And sippers. And Olaf and even Sven slippers. Sven sippers. Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
They're very cute.
I never use the word cute and restroom is in the same sentence, but here I'm going to. The Pelican restrooms, which are just past Wandering Oaken's trading post, are really, really fun. The daughters are on one side and the sons, S-U-N-S, are on the other.
Did we say it was hot today? I think we did.
Yeah.
We had to go for a second strawberry daiquiri. However, you don't have to pay for the cup this time, just the drink inside.
And by the way, these were really hard to pack in a suitcase. They didn't really fit in any kind of nice way, but we did take them home with us.
Cookies 2 is the second barbecue area on Castaway Cay. This one's slightly closer to the adult-only areas. We didn't actually go to the adult-only areas. Once again, we chose to stay with the boys in the family areas, which was fine for us. The beach was lovely, it wasn't too crowded, we had a great time. To give you an idea where the adult-only area Serenity Bay is, it's here on this map.
The beaches are absolutely my idea of my personal paradise. They are absolutely perfect in every single way. There are hammocks everywhere, as well as sun loungers, so if you want to pull up a hammock for a while and relax, which obviously I did for a while, you can do that. There always seemed to be one free when we were there anyway, and it was a full ship.
Yeah, plenty of sun lounges, plenty of umbrellas. It didn't feel crowded at all.
No. So the water is extremely clear on Castaway Cay, at least when we were there, and I thought I saw a sea urchin, but...
Tony, it's a rock.
Okay, it's a rock.
Clearly the water isn't that clear there because you can't tell the difference between a rock and a sea urchin.
Maybe those strawberry daiquiris were a little bit too strong.
I will add that we did wear water shoes. There was quite a bit of seaweed on the ground and some of the sand is a little bit gritty.
So it's not just the beaches and laying on the beach and going in the water that you can do on Castaway Cay. At Pelican Point Overlook, there are water slides. There's actually 2 water slides, one for the more adventurous, such as my son here, and one's for grumpy old dads like me, or smaller children. To get there, you actually have to enter the water and swim to it. You can't walk, it's too deep. You have to actually swim to the slides themselves, at which point you get out of the water, as you see me trying to do here while I doggy paddle with my phone in my hand. Don't worry, it was in a waterproof case. And you climb up, and you're on like a little island. Beth and our youngest son chose to give this one a miss on this day, but it's quite a nicely themed area, and it's quite high up, really. Once you're up there, you get a nice view over Castaway Cay and the beaches on either side. Now, as I said before, I chose to do this slide. That's not me, obviously. My son chose to do the other one on the other side, which is completely closed off like a tube. So here I go.
Oh shit.
Yes, you get unceremoniously dumped in the water at the end of the slide. And as you can see, my son will be coming out in just a second. Boom, there he goes. That was a much faster slide than the one I went on, but it's great fun. I recommend it highly.
We cover the food in more detail in our recent vlog when we looked at all the food on board the Disney Fantasy. It's pretty decent, we enjoyed it. Oh, and look, there's our cups again. After lunch, we headed back to the main beach for a little bit of rest and relaxation, let our food go down, and just enjoy the atmosphere for a while. After an hour or so, we packed everything up and headed back to the activity beach as we had some activities booked through the cruise line.
Along the way, we passed the start line of the Castaway Cay 5K. Now, this is a race. It's not really a race against anybody. You just either do it or you don't. That you can go by walking or running or any way you'd like. And at the end of your 5K circuit of the island, you do get a medal. We chose not to do this on this occasion. And I was a little bit gutted about it, if I'm honest. I really would like the medal.
You can also hire bikes here, which can take you around the island. These are at an additional charge.
Beach accessible wheelchairs are also available. You should ask before you leave the ship where you can find these.
On our way to the activities beach, we passed Castaway Cay, where you can have your own stingray encounter. There's also a first aid station here as well.
Probably from when you're stung by the stingrays.
This is the activities beach. This is where things started to get a little bit more interesting.
You see, we'd booked paddleboarding, which this passenger here is enjoying a lot. But when we actually arrived, there were meant to be 4 paddleboards waiting for us. And how many were there?
1, I think, on the beach and 1 in the water.
So 1 was coming in, so there would have been 2. So we were actually given a choice. 2 of us could paddleboard, and Beth and our eldest decided to do that. There's one of the paddleboards there. There's the other one. But myself and my youngest, we chose to do this, which is a water tricycle. Is that what it's called?
Which is what Tony actually did want to do before I talked him into booking paddleboarding.
It just looks like fun. It just looks ridiculous and cartoonish and everything you want from a Disney holiday.
What you can't see from the photo is how windy it is. Like, it wasn't windy on the beach, but it was on the water. And it was really hard to pedal, or in our case, paddleboard against the current that it was forming. Also, just as we were about to get into the water, the guy that gave us the paddleboards informed us that there are no predator nets here. I guess because you're quite close to the ship. There are predator nets all around the swimming and the snorkeling area, but not here, which made the fact that we were pedaling against the water and the current, you can see it there, a little bit scarier because I really didn't want to fall in, and we were keeping our eyes open for all sorts of things. I did see a starfish, and you saw a stingray,
I saw a stingray.
It was difficult though, as you can see from our oldest son trying to turn round.
Yes, it wasn't easy for him to stand up. Now, Beth's actually had paddleboarding lessons before.
I'm not very good though.
No, but
No, you're not meant to say no. You're meant to go, oh no, you are, darling.
Well, you're better than him. As you can see, it's not only easy. It's not only hard to paddle. It's hard to stay on your feet once you're up. So he does okay for a bit.
I think he did quite well considering he'd never done it before. Oh, there we go. Maybe not. I was just worried that we were going to crash into the ship because the current was kind of taking us closer and closer to it.
Meanwhile, myself and our youngest son were just pedaling away on our giant tricycle.
But the water is beautiful and you do get a wonderful view of Castaway Cay and the ship. And if you are good at paddleboarding, which I'm sure you probably are better at it than I am, I'm sure you will have a great time. I did really, really enjoy it. Would I do it again there? Probably not. I don't think I would hire any of these things there again.
No.
I would next time. I'd like to do the snorkeling where you can see the different statues.
That'd be great. You can also bring your own snorkels and masks so you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But Beth came in on her paddleboard.
Yay,
We'd
go
already
me.
parked our tricycle by that point. Beth came in looking like Moana and having had a great time.
Although I think Moana was probably a bit better at it.
However, our eldest was stuck way out here and had to have the walk of shame, or rather the toe of shame, by being towed in by a jet ski.
I think he quite enjoyed it, to be honest.
Well, he looked a bit embarrassed, but at least it meant he didn't have to paddle.
Then it was time for us to head back to the ship.
Overall, I can't fault my day at Castaway Cay. It makes me want to go back to Castaway Cay. It makes me want to go to Lighthouse Point, Disney's new island. I will definitely be back on Disney Cruise Line because of this experience.
Tony, have you finished packing?
Yes, I have, but I have to go charge my Magic Band Plus.
That's right, we're off to California.
We'll see you on Christmas Day in Disneyland, Anaheim.
And in the words of One Little Mouse, we'll see
you
you real soon.